We are excited to have these beautiful young ladies here. I'm so excited. I've been bugging these young ladies for the past couple of months, and I'm probably on their nerves. And we're just excited to talk about different things. You know, women, we can talk about any and everything. This is the moment you have been waiting for. Well, I'm Delisa. Of course, as y'all know, I'm Delisa. Hey, girl. 28 years old out here in these streets, just trying to live for the Lord. Amen. Don't we have too many big things going on here with YAU? Excited to be doing these things for them. Go ahead and introduce yourself too.
I am Joy Morgan. I'm from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I work at UCO. And just, I guess, something interesting, I'm currently a doctoral student. So y'all pray for me.
Yes, big things. So I am Katrina Leggins, and I'm 28 years old. I am a mental health therapist here in Norman, Oklahoma, but I'm from Oklahoma City. I also have my own business, Kano Co-Writing. It is an informational and inspirational platform geared towards mental health and self-care. So I speak about self-care, speak about mental health, provide free resources. I have my own self-care apparel line. I just love to bring mental health and self-care awareness to my community and globally.
Yes, girl.
Yes, I know that's right.
I have to put that in the atmosphere.
There you go. Put it out there.
My name is Tia Johnson.
Hi, Tia.
Hey, Tia.
I work for an organization called Care for Change. It is a drug and alcohol substance abuse agency. In addition to that, I have my own foundation called Unique As You Are. It's an organization where we try to encourage our youth to live their best life while remembering their worth. So we have different events for them each month. And so, yeah.
Awesome.
So my name is Janae Culpepper. I am a financial coach for a company called Financial Healing for Women. It's an organization that I started about 2 years ago. And so I help women with all things finances, from budgeting, paying off debt, savings plans for their futures. And I'm also host financial literacy sessions. So 2020 is going to be a big year. I have 6-7 sessions coming up next year, and I'm planning to take on at least 10 new clients. And so I'm really, really excited about what the future holds. And then as full-time, I work as a sales coach for a company called Progression. It's our Lexington law firm. It's a credit repair law firm. So,
yes, I love all this new business swag. Yeah. We got some therapy, we got some financial healing. It's good. Let's talk about relationships. Ladies, we can talk about this all day, every day. I am personally single by choice. Amen. Ish.
amen.
right. By choice. Ish. Dating seems so freaking hard. Like, it's just so much to choose from, and as a Black woman, I don't feel as valued by Black men, so I feel as if I should. Do y'all have any type of issues when it comes to dating out here in these streets?
So, you actually said something where you didn't feel like you were like yourself. Like, I think for me, dating, I've been single like 7 years. And
wow.
People are always amazed because they see what I look like from the outside. Oh, you're on social media, you work with kids, you speak, you do all these things, but it's like, on the inside, there's a lot of things I know I need to be healed from that has been an issue since my teen years. And so, and I think a lot of that, the root issues come from my father, an absent father, not having that type of guidance, but also not really knowing how to reach out for help, because that was something we never really talked about in the house. I grew up with a single young mother. She had me at 15. And so, and my grandparents helped raise me as well. But a lot of those issues followed me until I was, until now. But I'm just now starting to really love myself. And so I think the singleness, it depends on just, what your issues were growing up. But for me, I knew it was a lot of my upbringing that affected my dating choices, attracting the wrong men. I was attracting men based on like how I saw how I've been seeing myself. And so I've been on this self-care, self-love journey. And that's why I advocate about it, because it's so real. And so I probably went kind of left with that, but I just wanted to talk about like
that's real.
Why singleness is difficult for some of us. And for me, I was putting myself second.
Absolutely.
Wow. Right.
For me, when you said something about, I had to pray and ask God to change my taste buds.
Yeah,
Change what I'm attracted to, what I like, because just because you have a type doesn't mean that that's God's type for you.
Right.
So I had to just do some self-discovering, find out who I was, and ask God, okay, change what I've been attracted to, because clearly that wasn't good for me. So help me out. So to be continued.
Yeah, that's good. Be true to who you are and don't let anybody change that. Know your standards. And I know it's so easy to compromise in order to be in a relationship. But I think it's important for us, and if we, aspire to be in a relationship, to always be true to you, to be true to your values and what you think is important. And the moment you may be into somebody and he's not valuing you or valuing what you value, let it go. It's maybe a hard decision, but we have to learn how to appreciate and accept those who value us. And kind of let go of everything else.
For sure. Y'all said a lot of really great things. So to piggyback off what Janae said, we always put ourselves last, or what you said, we always put ourselves last. We have that saying, God first, your family second, others third. So when do we come in place? When do we choose to say, I'm about to take myself, I'm about to take care of myself, period, point blank. So that's one big thing. And one thing that God is really dealing with me on as far as relationships is knowing the difference between a good man and a God man. Y'all, so I got this good man, right? I mean, because I've never had the type that would like pay for meals. Like y'all would think that's little, but that's really big for me to pay for a meal or to, offer to take you out somewhere. Because, I've had insecurities or whatever in the past. So to me, that's a good man who can take care of his household, who can take care of you. Listen, if you want to take me to Sephora and go shopping, we can listen. If you can afford, baby boy, listen. I am not.
What was your amount that you
baby boy? Hey, don't put me out there like that. That's a good man to me. But at the end of the day, that he doesn't have a relationship with God. He believes that there is a God, of course a lot of people do, but he doesn't have an actual relationship. And I can only imagine if we ever got married or we were together 5 years down the line, I'm not gonna be happy because where's the God in this?
Do you think you could be that example for him though? And take him down that path?
Listen, being an example is one thing, but I feel like as women we take it too far. I feel like, okay, great. Yes. I ain't trying to change nobody overnight. Like if I can place in front of you, God, I show you what he is, who he is to me, and you take it as it is, and you still don't form into whatever, you still have your mind made up, I'm not about to continue to waste more time. Listen, if there's a God man out there for me, that's who I'm about to swag with. Because
And see, I can do that as your friend. Like, we don't have to be in a relationship for me to represent Christ to you. And I think, like, if we kind of make ourselves be in this unequally yoked situation, then our feelings get involved as far as a relationship is concerned. So if he doesn't have those core values, and maybe he doesn't have a relationship with the Lord, and you still want to kind of represent Christ to him, I would think that would be best done in the friendship type of relationship, and not like a relationship where I'm building feelings, he's building feelings, because then it's hard to detach at that point.
I've actually I've been checked by God once with a guy, and he wasn't a believer, and he told me, don't turn an assignment into an attraction. And I was like, okay.
I'm like, well, God, listen.
Okay, check me real good.
Right. Well, God, listen, that's good. Don't turn it into attraction. Assignment into an attraction.
That's a word.
Yeah, man, that'll preach right there.
Yeah, sure will.
And you know, we're all getting older, and we usually get that question, you know, during this time of the year. So when you gonna settle down and have some babies, get married, and find you a good man? Find me a good man. The Bible says. The Bible says, excuse me, ma'am. First of all, I'm the favor. So, first of all, so what do y'all feel about? What do y'all feel about having an age limit on the things that we accomplish or do in life, especially in relationships or having children? I think Tia's the only one who has a kid right now, though, right?
Just put me out there.
Right?
Throw me out there.
She want like 8 more. She want to have 8 more pretty soon. So it's like, for me, as far as age limit, I'm like, Lord, I've literally had to sit and say, God, you know what? If it happens, great. If it won't, great. You know, there is a scripture that says, what does it say? Be fruitful and multiply. God showed me you don't have to have children to be fruitful and multiply. You can also, you can invest in what's already here and multiply what's already here in the land, or be able to bring whatever you can to the land and multiply it there. It doesn't always have to be actually birthing children.
Yeah, that's good. I think that the entity that puts, I guess, stipulations on age limit is society. Like when my grandmother was young, she got married at like 14, and that was acceptable then. Like,
and they
you know,
15 kids.
right? And she has 9 kids,
Yes.
and so now it seems like the age is going up and up, or you know, getting older and older as far as getting married and having kids. And so I said, like, don't put those societal restrictions around yourself and feel like you're not accomplishing something because you're this age and you don't have a family or you don't have children. To me, that's like kind of a chain that society has put on us as women.
And what you have is a lot of people who aren't ready. And, you know, who got into things prematurely. Now we have divorces and, you know, so I just feel like we're at the age where we're more mature and we're more willing to wait on the good or the God thing or the good thing, you know? And we're out here, we have businesses, you know, like we are so forward thinking and we want more out of life, I think, right now.
And I think for me, going back, just because I always tie everything back to my upbringing. Like, I'm trying to avoid being another statistic. Because divorce is really high in my family, you know, and lots of children born out of wedlock, which is no shade or not trying to just judge anybody, but I see a different path. God has shown me a different path, and a baby right now is not it. And marriage right now is not it, but that doesn't mean it's never gonna happen. And so in this season of my life, I'm working on myself mentally, physically, spiritually, and for me to be prepared to be a wife or a mother if that's what's supposed to happen. But society, I definitely agree. I also feel like some of our family and friends, because I have friends, some of my closest friends having kids and getting married, and you're in these weddings and you see the kid, and it's like the pressure, you know, and it's like I'm genuinely happy, but I don't need you to ask me, when are you gonna do this? Y'all enjoy y'all's weddings and babies and kids and families. When my time it comes, it'll come, and you guys will know. So our society puts pressure, and I believe sometimes our friends and family, maybe unintentionally, but it is a pain to have to hear that question during.
I think it gets easier as you get older. Because when I was like 24,
It gets easier.
well,
For
me, I guess.
Yeah,
Because when I was 24, 25, I'm like, oh, where's the kid? I'm supposed to have a kid right now. I'm supposed to be married right now. And the older I get, I'm like, I'm so glad that didn't happen. Like, okay, like it's absolutely fine that I'm in this state and happy and looking forward to whatever happens.
So Tia, does it get easier?
As you get older?
Yeah.
Which part are you talking about? The
That happen to hear the question of, or having the realization of, I'm not where I feel as if I want to be, but I'm still working on myself. I'm still
I can't necessarily say it gets easier because you are at a point in your life where you feel like, okay, I'm almost such and such years old. Like, what am I doing? What I need to get a move on things. So it's not necessarily per se people coming to me saying, you know, when are you gonna do this or when are you gonna do that? But it's myself asking, when am I gonna do this or when am I gonna do that? So I can't say that it gets easier because it's more, I guess, a self-awareness of trying to figure out when am I gonna do it? Me asking myself.
So as a Black woman, I often walk inside of Walmart. I used to go shop at Target. I ain't gonna lie, I don't go to Walmart no more. I'm a Target person. So bougie. No. We used to do groceries at either Crest or Winco. But even going there, I see a lot of biracial relationships. I see a lot of people who have stepped out and said, hey, look, I'm with this person who doesn't look like me. And I still want to be open to them and to accept what they have to give to me. So as a Black woman, where are we with stepping out and saying, hey, I'm going to step out and try something new, try something different. Even if it doesn't look familiar to me.
I say, why not? If you find someone who's of a different race than you and you click with that person, you have the same values, you appreciate each other, then yeah, I think it's beautiful. What do you guys think?
You like who you like. You attract who you attract. Give people chances.
Give them a chance.
Yeah, at least give it a chance. And if it doesn't turn into this beautiful love story, at least you can tell yourself, I tried.
Yeah.
I attempted. I didn't just push him to the side. You know, I attempted and gave the man a chance.
Yeah.
I've been looking for that here in the street. I've been like, where is my white man? Where is my Asian man? Where are you?
I read a book called The Wait. You guys
I read it.
And he talks about in the book just like really being open to all different types of people, you know, not just, you know, giving them a strong arm or whatever you call that. But I'm open to it. But like you said, it depends on the person, not necessarily the color. And before, I didn't think I was open to it because it was never presented. But, you know, and so I feel like sometimes we feel like we can't step in that area.
Seeing things in one lens.
One perspective, exactly.
I can definitely relate to that.
Yes.
And if you go and step outside of that, why would you do that? Like, you know, it's like, well, why not?
Yeah.
You know, we're supposed to love people like Christ. And, you know, so let me test the waters and see, you know, what can happen, you know, out of that. So
this is a God thing.
I'm like, we ain't been doing it for how long? So why can't? Yeah, what is it? I'm so scared to bring home a white man. Listen, my parents will look at me so crazy.
Now the older generation don't always.
Yeah, I'm like, what is my mother going to say about this?
Right.
He got some money. That's the perfect she asked me. He got some money. She always, don't marry no broke one. You're gonna marry you wealthy one.
I can hear her saying that.
No, for real.
But I think about our parents and grandparents who was on the front lines in some aspects and endured segregation and integration. And I can see some of those feelings of why they would feel like that. So I would understand their perspective. But I would still say kind of keep an open mind. You never know what the Lord is doing in your life.
So do you feel it would be different? Of course, because differences when you try to go to the movies and you see a movie like Queen of Slim. Like that, I think that's when it gets tough. Because you have to have those real and raw conversations about your pure differences and hope that they can somehow understand, but you know at the end of the day they probably won't.
That's true.
That I think will be the hardest part about that coming together.
Wow.
Would you let that be a first date though?
Oh no, for sure. Or might, you know, I like to let them think.
Right. Let's see how we can handle that pressure on the first date. Let's see how
that's a good way to weed them out.
No, for real.
Like, oh, you did all this? Okay, gotta go.
No, but I think that if they're willing to understand that there are some things about being an African American woman that they would just never get. and they're okay with that. They understand that, and they kind of give you your space to kind of live in that. Then I think that's okay. And then there's some things that we would have to understand about the guy, whatever race that he is, and his culture that are just kind of central to his culture.
Yes.
So I think it's about understanding when it comes to that.
Anytime you blend two backgrounds, two different cultures, you're gonna always have some challenges.
Yeah.
You will, but that's when you need the communication is key. Talk through it and get to know each other for who they really are. And you said something earlier. You really need to get to know their heart. You know, it's just, and you know, a lot of people be like, no, I care about what they look like. I mean, that's a preference, but really, you got to think about what you deal with behind closed doors.
Exactly, that's good.
Like, you know, it can look pretty, it can look nice, it can be looking fine, but inside, if it's broken, that's going to be your life. You know, if that's what you decide to want to stick with.
Yeah.
So try to give it a chance by really focusing on that emotional aspect.
It's so funny we're talking about openness. Things are different.
Yeah.
Things are so different than what they were before. Men can go into the woman's bathroom to use the bathroom and vice versa. Now, with the way surgery and makeup can make a person look, I mean, when you sit down with a person on a date, you have to ask them, well, you know, were you born a woman or were you born a man?
Oh, man.
Did you really ask somebody that?
Do we really have to ask that?
Listen, if you see some of the pictures I've seen on Facebook or Instagram of like of dudes or of, you know, who are dressed up as women, like
No, but like would that really be like if you were out on a date with someone, you would really ask them that?
I don't know. That's a good question. That's not something that I've run into before. So I really honestly can't tell you if I don't know.
I think maybe I've asked before, have you ever been with another man?
Yeah,
that's different.
that would be more appropriate. Yeah.
But yeah, I've never asked that before.
Never had to, right? So are we open to say, hey, if they were once a woman and now they are a man, this is who they are. Are we open to say, hey, let's try it. Let's see what your heart is.
Again, I think that's a preference.
That's a preference. I understand.
Yeah, and just being honest about that too. So if someone was to identify that, you know, I'm a trans woman, trans man, that needs to be a conversation at the beginning, and you be honest about what you will allow, won't allow, don't like, so you can just nip that in the bud.
So what if you didn't find out till 6 months later and you like all in love and stuff?
I definitely would feel betrayed, and that would probably be my
In the relationship.
Yeah, because why would you hide something like that for so long?
Sure, like, that's a lot.
Yeah, like that should have been. If you love who you are, you know, if you're open with, you know, with your sexuality, then you should be able to own that up front. But if I was to find out, I would be probably. I'll be honest, I would probably be done.
You're right, and they should own that and be willing to present that. And then the other person, like, we would have the opportunity to say, no, I'm cool on it. Like, you know, and so and they should be okay with our position, because that's just our positioning on it. So.
Choices, and that's the biggest thing. Give me the choice. Give me the choice to say yes or no.
Yeah.
Right.
That's one thing that I have to really fight about when it comes to relationship. Give me the choice. Let's definitely appreciate y'all for coming out. It's been real. Please stay tuned for the second session, talking about women in business, competition. Like, y'all are beautiful. I'm beautiful. Why can't we be beautiful together? Women in the workplace, finances. Lord Jesus, let's talk about it. On the next session, Women's Edition, conversations.